the word is getting out to your mainstream media about what their job is right now. Now, they knew it was to do to put out Israel's propaganda, pro-Israel propaganda. That was pretty clear from the start. However, they were covering some of what was going on in terms of the genocide being perpetrated against Gaza. You can find some articles here and there. But now, if you look at exactly what's going on in your mainstream media and kind of get an overall view, not like one report here, one report there, people will often share the report by CNN saying that it's a humanitarian disaster or something like that, because that's the one time that CNN, once for 5 minutes out of 5 hours, CNN did a report talking about, talking about it from a Gazan's point of view. People will often share that one. But I thought it'd be interesting to look at real quick, see what CNN's up to kind of in a larger sense. And here is their YouTube page and the videos that they are posting. And they're posting videos every, half hour or more often than that. So you've got House GOP selects blah, blah, blah. So House GOP garbage. You've got Trump courtroom garbage. Trump's new defense, which could matter if they weren't talking about it for the 9 billionth time over the past 3 minutes. I'm not saying it's a non-story, but when you've covered it as much as they have now, it's a goddamn non-story. Then they cover the 85-year-old grandmother who was just freed by Hamas. What many in the mainstream media don't want to tell you or are leaving out of the story is that she said she was treated very well. I'll talk more about that in a second. But to keep going on, here are the recent videos put up by CNN. Ex-Trump campaign lawyer, blah, 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 more Trump stuff. Anderson Cooper realizes something about a Hamas hostage that was killed. So that's CNN covering things from Israel's point of view. Then you have Trump again. Then you have Israeli man describes being scared. So again, Israel's point of view. Then you have U.S. intel says Iranian back, so Iran propaganda. Then you have woman's account of being captured by Hamas. So yet again, Israel's point of view. Then you finally get down to, this is, after about 10 videos, you get down to one video of a CNN producer in Gaza. So this is a CNN producer that lives in Gaza trying to get his kids across the border. So you get about 10 videos down and you get one video that covers it from the Gaza's point of view, a Gazan's point of view. And this is while genocide is being perpetrated. If this were like, a boat sank or something, a plane, crashed, okay, I can see there aren't that many people involved. You don't need to cover it endlessly. But this is a goddamn genocide. This is thousands upon thousands of people being bombed, no water, no fuel, no medicine. Half of them being killed are children. This is, I want to say unprecedented. Obviously, it's not unprecedented, but it is horrific. It is in some ways close to unprecedented in a time of everyone having a cell phone and everyone being able to film what's going on. But so during all of that, CNN, it's one video from a somewhat Gazan's point of view for every 11 that are either Israeli propaganda or Trump shit. That's what CNN's bringing you. So they are largely moving on from the bombing of Gaza story. And I think that's kind of the talking point that's been sent around our mainstream media is like, yes, keep covering how scary it was to be Israeli when Hamas attacked. Keep covering, you do a little bit of like Israel bombed here or there. But in general, they seem to be moving away from coverage of this genocide. Obviously, they don't use that term, but of coverage of it at all. So then I went to MSNBC to see what videos they had put up in the past several hours. Here's what they have. David Brooks garbage about his new book. You have Michael Cohen, so that's Trump stuff. You have McCarthy, so that's GOP bickering stuff. You have, I don't even know what that is, something about voter turnout. You have more GOP bickering. You have Trump trial. Okay, so of everything posted in the past hour at MSNBC, the word Gaza or Palestinian has not been mentioned. So let's keep going. Then you've got something about a book on puberty. Imagine there's a fucking genocide going on, and they're like, well, let's talk about this book on puberty. That's the thing. Like, people are going through their pubation. I know. I made up that word. Blinken. Okay, so here we go. So here's the first of all those videos 2 hours ago. Here's the last one they put up having anything to do with Israel and Gaza. It is Blinken's view, Anthony Blinken's view of what happened. 33 Americans killed. I assume that they mean American and Israeli, or most of them are. They're joint citizens, which is very common. But 33 Americans killed in the attacks on Israel. So of all the last 2 hours, you've got one story having anything to do with Israel and Gaza, and it is from Israel's point of view. So then they finally, the one after that is finally a story about how Gaza needs more aid. Now, here's the other thing they're doing in this propaganda war is, rather than saying this is a genocide, this is a war, or war crimes after war crimes after war crimes, this is the bombing of a hospital, this is the bombing of schools, this is the murder of children, rather than take all of that, the stories, when they do highlight what's going on in Gaza, are about how Gaza needs more aid trucks. Think for a moment, and they make you seem think that's normal, that's okay, that's what you should be talking about. No, you don't argue about how many aid trucks get into a genocide. The entire discussion should be, it must stop. You don't, like, if someone walks into a house with 10 people and murders 7 of them and is working on murdering the last 3, you don't sit outside and go, I really think like more bottles of water should be delivered into there. Because the 3 that are still there, they deserve some more bottles of water. They really do, because we've only gotten 4 bottles of water in since the murdering began, and they're shifting the debate because they understand that your average American, if you see a video of a damn, sorry to use the language like that, it's not really coming out right, but if you show a video of a child in a parent's arms dying in Gaza, or so many other things that's going on in Gaza, your average American will feel something. Unless they're a sociopath. So that meaning they're not in elected office. They will feel something. They will feel sad. And the same goes for the hostages taken from Israel and those killed in Israel. Yes, you show that stuff. Your average human will feel something, will feel sadness, will feel hurt, will feel this shouldn't be going on to some degree. I'm not saying everyone goes running outside saying we got to stop this, but they will feel something. So what do you do with all those people who are feeling something, that something should be done? And even no matter how much propaganda you pump them full of, they're going to go, but shouldn't we care about the babies in Gaza? That's still going to be there. And so what do? Well, you shift the discussion so that it's still one of caring, right? We got to get aid trucks in there. That's still a discussion about caring for these people. It's still a discussion of we should care about the children that are dying. But you notice what's happened? Now, all of a sudden, an American or whatever, anyone in the West, people in Europe, etc., who were furious that this must end. The Israeli bombing must end now. And all of the electricity and water and gasoline, all of it should be turned on immediately. Now they're arguing about how many trucks are allowed in. Well, is it 20 trucks? Because if it's 25, then I'm cool. I'm out. And I think it's fine. I think everything's fine. I'm going to stop talking about it if it's 25. But if it's 20, that's not enough aid trucks. That's not enough bottles of water for the people being murdered. Do you see how insane this is? But that I found, so at CNN and MSNBC and the others I checked, you would find about 1 every 10 videos, one every 10 to 15 videos put up by these networks. You'd find one on how Gaza needs more humanitarian aid. Not a video on how Israel should stop obliterating an entire 2.2 million people. That's what the discussion is. It begins and ends there. It's not a discussion of how many trucks get through, but they're shifting the debate. And that is the mastery of the propaganda by our systems. Is, one is give you all the propaganda, of course. Yeah, you should feel for Israel. Israel has a right to defend themselves, all that garbage. Yes, all the propaganda. But then beyond that, let's shift the debate over to how many aid trucks get in. That's what we need to do.